I think it's high.
No, you look good. Okay. That looks actually really good. Appreciate you dressing up for the segment.
Absolutely.
Welcome, everyone, for this week's episode of North Idaho Fantasy Football News, your online source for all your fantasy football needs. And we've decided to take the show on the road this week as we stop by Eric Moshan's place. Eric Moshan, thank you for inviting us in.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Now, I know you've had a very busy schedule, and it's about time we've got you on. We had your brother Jason on last year. 4 or 5 segments of true bonus fun right there. It was great.
Still hasn't seen the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he still has not yet. Let's go over the Bitch Magnets history a little bit. The first season, you were Fantasy Bowl champion. You came out, you said you were going to win, and you won. It was just easy as that. Second year, you made the playoffs and didn't win. You actually lost to your brother, Dr. Mo.
Yeah, 5 of my starters got injured. It was all right. I should have won.
Sure.
He had the game of his life.
Another phone's been ringing off the hook. Are you okay, or do you need to take that?
No, go for it.
Okay, I know you're a very busy man.
Just a bill collector.
Okay, good. Last year, a bit of a struggle.
What?
Under 500, didn't make the playoffs. What happened to the Moshan factor there?
I had to give the rest of the league a chance to win. You know, give them a chance. You know.
And that was nice of you. I think that kept people in the league this year. I mean, if you're continuously winning, that discourages. That discourages Norm Buds. That discourages. I mean, how many victories do the Norm Buds, you think, in life do they really have?
Wow. None.
Sir, it's tough. It's tough, and we appreciate the fact that you've gone out and you've helped other teams. Now this year, you're back to the Moshan factor wage. You're 7-4. Second place in the division.
Should be 11-0. But...
Well, it's just what the computer says, 7-4. I mean, according to the scores and stuff like that. Pretty good season so far. You've been on top most of the year. You were able to draft players like Phillip Rivers, Marshawn Lynch, Greg Jennings, Billy Miller. Yeah.
What's his name? Want me to trade his old man tight end Gonzalez or something?
That'd be the man horse, Dane Wilson.
Oh, wow. He wanted like a starting running back for a 17th round.
Well, Tony Gonzalez was one of his keepers.
Yeah.
He decided to keep him this year.
Nice keep.
Yeah. So, what do you think of your team so far? I mean, we've read some comments on the message board, but this is your opportunity live to say what you feel about your draft and your team.
My team, their quarterback solid. Marshawn Lynch is average, above average. You know, Greg Jennings, best receiver out there.
He's actually looking really, really good. Aaron Rodgers having a great season, getting the ball to him.
Got the best kicker in the league.
That's always important. Now, Lendell White is also on your team. You made the statement that you wanted to make sure he was your keeper this year. You're like, I've got to keep Lendell White. I can't get rid of him.
See where this is going.
So, last week, though, Lendell White, one of your main keepers, was on the bench.
Yeah, that's all right.
Scored 39 points.
I knew he was going to have a big game. I didn't want to not blow out everyone. You needed a win.
That's nice of you. But you were able to take down, you did split last week. You had a big matchup last week. You were riding in 3rd place. You took on the surprising 1st place A-Dogs, Aaron Lennon. He's doing his homework out there. That guy is studying the football, everything. And he's reading Sports Illustrated. You got to give him credit. And then you also played the commissioner of the JH Express, who was riding in 2nd place at the time.
Yeah, he got... the game of his life, of course.
Now, I do owe you a little bit of a thank you, because I was able to beat you, narrowly.
And I know if Lendell White started, you would still beat me.
Well, I know. If you do the math, I guess it wouldn't have mattered either way. But I do have to thank you for knocking off the A-Dogs, because that rolled the Express into 1st place for the first time in almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And I haven't been on 1st place a lot, because similar reasons for you. I mean, not so much maybe the fact that people would feel like, oh, Johnny's always winning. But then the conspiracy theories come out.
Oh, conspiracy, yeah.
See, each year I try to pick a different team to win it all. Like, one year I tried to have Sunny's team win it all, and then I thought maybe Chrissy's team, I could get her team to win it all. So, all the different teams that I'm running, I don't want to, if you just stockpile it on one team, people may start to think. And, I got the Divas in, 2nd place right now, so no one seems to. But
yeah, this league wasn't even a keeper league at first, and...
No, it's always been a keeper league.
Until someone decided to make it a keeper league. Oh, wow, I got the 2 best running backs. Who's going to go 1st and 2nd in the draft?
Well, you got Lendell White. And aren't you glad it's a keeper league? You got Lendell White.
I'll trade him for a tight end.
Now, some other highlights from last week was the other Moshan, Dr. Mo, who's called his team gay.
Yeah, he's gay.
Who's called his team homosexual, which means guy-on-guy action. Yeah. Last week, though, they produced 146 points in a blowout against Aaron London, the same. Aaron London doesn't want anything to do with anything with the Moshan brothers. He lost both games.
He knows better. He did.
Yeah, he got spanked a little bit. He may have liked getting spanked. But Jason won by 90 points.
Yeah, he's has to celebrate on his little.
He's been out of town.
Yeah, he's on a cruise. And he got kicked off the boat already.
Oh, that's too bad.
First day.
Maybe, did he fall off the boat or?
No, got kicked off.
No, they left him at port somewhere.
We're trying to grab boys' butts.
Oh, you heard it here first. Jason's out there grabbing boys' butts. But he scored 146 points. He got a couple big wins. You got to be happy for your brother.
I am.
No more sleepless nights, maybe. I mean, I know I get calls at 3 o'clock in the morning from your brother. Dude, I don't understand why my team's the worst.
Went from being the best to the worst.
So right now in our very competitive, and I've kind of put this on the, I know you've been reading the commissioner's page and of course the online news that everyone's reading. I kind of think that our division that we're in is the stronger division of the two.
Yeah. Well, excuse me, I'm in the division.
Sure. I mean, and that's part of the reason. Right now,
you got a pretty good team. Who else is in there?
Well, you got your A-Dogs. The JH Express is 9-3. You and the A-Dogs are tied for 7-4. Yeah. And if the playoffs were start today, those would be the top 3 teams that would automatically advance.
Yeah, I'll make the playoffs this year.
Norm Buds 7-5. Tony Romo's down. What do you think of Norm Buds?
What happened to Romo? Is Pinky?
His Pinky's hurt.
He need to start.
But he
didn't start. It's just a pinky.
But he was able to win. He put in Gus Farrat,
yeah.
And Gus got him some points. Yeah, got him like 15 points. I don't know how much you can get out of Gus, but that's what he was able to split. Then we got another couple group of teams there. The Brew Crew is 6-6. Les has struggled with this team a little bit. Not the high scoring Brew Crew team that we're used to. And then Maverick and Iceman, that's Chris Pickens' team, was 2-6. They've won 4 in a row. They've been scoring over 100 points. In fact, if you look, and I know you've been looking at the stats, Eric, Chris Pickens' Maverick and Iceman team actually have scored more points than any other team in the league.
More than mine?
Even more than yours.
Well, because I still have played one less game than a lot of others,
That's true. But
what?
Well, for 6-6, scoring the most points, you got to feel a little bad for Pickens at home. I mean, he is coming on though. He could be a team to reckon with, kind of at the bottom of this division.
But I'm 7-4. That's 11 games. He's got 12 games.
So well, I understand. Well, that is good math. I guess I'll have to figure out what the average is on that. But his team has been scoring more points. And then a couple teams that have been down there a little bit. Injured reserve, 5-6. That's Mike Peters' team.
Mike Peters.
He's made the playoffs all 3 years.
Yeah, he doesn't look good this year.
He had a big trade last week with he got Derek Anderson and Lee Evans from the Master.
Yeah, Lee Evans solid.
But he didn't really score a whole lot of points.
Who did he give up for those?
He gave up a handful of players. Ricky Williams, JT O'Sullivan.
Ricky Williams,
JT O'Sullivan.
He'll do good when he plays for Boise State.
Help me out, Mike. Who else did you give up? There was a couple other starters that he gave up that were. Oh, Torrey Holt was one.
I gave him JT Sullivan.
Yeah, there was a trade with you, and then you traded.
And I got Mark Bolger.
That's right.
Same week,
That's right.
Got 4 points. So he's solid.
Solid
management right there.
Another team that pulled off a big trade that's kind of been floundering since then is the Rocks. Mark Doucet. I don't know if you saw that he traded for Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
And since the Rocks have attained Brett Favre, he's only been putting up, I think, 12 points and 9 points. He's actually had Chad Pennington on the bench. That's doing better.
Yeah. It's Brett Favre, though. He's going to throw us interceptions,
Right. And I think he's still out there for some big games. And then Wang and Tang, Robbie Rivera, defending champion Robbie Rivera, which we're all proud of course. He actually won 2 games last week, including beating his old nemesis, Les Salzman, the Brew Crew. Nice. Now, these guys have had message board wars before. And Robbie Rivera, despite a losing record, besides a pathetic team, is 5-1 all-time against the Beast.
5-1?
5-1. He's only lost 1 time. He's won 5, including a playoff win last year.
Nice. You know who I started, Mike, when I won the fantasy football? Who's my starting quarterback?
It was no, I can tell you this. It was a Detroit backup. It was
was it Detroit? I don't even remember. I didn't even need a quarterback.
It was I don't even think he's in the league anymore.
Quarterback.
Who was it? Who was that guy?
It was like Broyle or was it?
It was somebody with the same skill set as Broyle. I'd have to look that up.
Guy, it was like.
If any of you guys are bored at home, go onto the website and you can look up archives for 2005, and you can see that Eric's team that you had that year was a very, in the playoffs at least, it seemed to be a mediocre team. But it just goes to show that if you're riding the hot hand at the time, you can do anything. And if you know your talent. I mean, I think, to be honest with you, half of the reason, I look at not only who's playing, but who they are playing as well. Mm-hmm. Now, I made a mistake last week, but the thinking was positive. I